Three. Yo.
Yeah.
What's going on, y'all?
What's going on,
We are
guys?
back with one.
So glad you're with us. Hope you're doing well, taking care of yourself, and staying healthy because summertime is here.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So we got the inconvenient. Y'all know we did the inconvenient truth of the Democratic Party. So now they had inconvenient truth about the Republican Party.
Okay, let's see what they're saying.
Racist, sexist, Republican. These words are virtually interchangeable, at least according to most professors, journalists, and celebrities. So are they right? Let's take a look at history. The Republican Party was created in 1854. The first Republican Party platform, adopted at the party's first national convention in 1856, promised to defeat, quote, those twin relics of barbarism, polygamy and slavery. Those twin relics were spreading into the Western territories. Republicans feared that as those territories became states, polygamy and slavery might become permanent parts of American life.
Really?
Polygamy, the marriage of one man to multiple women, devalued women and made them a kind of property. Slavery, of course, did the same to blacks, literally. The Democrats were so opposed to the Republicans and their anti-slavery stance that in 1860, just 6 weeks after the election of the first Republican president, Abraham Lincoln, South Carolina, a state dominated by Democrats, voted to secede from the Union. The Civil War that followed was the bloodiest war in U.S. history. It led to the passage by Republicans of the 13th Amendment, which freed the slaves, the 14th Amendment, which gave them citizenship, and the 15th Amendment, which gave them the vote.
3 amendments.
In 1870, the first black senator and the first black congressman were sworn in, both Republicans.
Wow.
In fact, every black representative in the House until 1935 was a Republican, and every black senator until 1979 was too. For that matter, the first female member of Congress was a Republican. The first Hispanic governor and senator were Republicans.
Really?
The first Asian senator, you get the idea.
Really?
Republicans also kept their pledge to defend women's rights. In 1862, the Morrill Anti-Bigamy Act was passed by the Republican-controlled Congress to put an end to polygamy. In 1920, after 52 years of Democratic Party opposition, the 19th Amendment was ratified thanks to the Republican Congress, which pressured Democratic President Woodrow Wilson to drop his opposition to women's rights. In the final tally, only 59% of House Democrats and 41% of Senate Democrats supported women's suffrage. That's compared to 91% of House Republicans and 82% of Senate Republicans.
Look at that.
There certainly was a war on women, and it was led by the Democratic Party.
Wow. And look how the table have turned. The Democrat Party said, women's rights. But you on the wrong party for that. Don't change it, cuz. You in the wrong group for that, ain't you?
Wow.
But while Republicans had won a major battle for women's rights, the fight for black civil rights had a long way to go. In the 1920s, Republican President Calvin Coolidge declared that the rights of blacks are just as sacred as those of any other citizen. By contrast, when famed sprinter Jesse Owens, a staunch Republican, won 4 gold medals at the 1936 Berlin Olympics, he was snubbed by Democratic President Franklin Roosevelt. Roosevelt only invited white Olympians to the White House.
Wow.
2 decades later, it was a Republican president, Dwight Eisenhower, who sent the 101st Airborne Division to escort black students into Little Rock Central High when Arkansas Governor Orville Forbes, a Democrat, refused to honor a court order to integrate the state's public schools.
Look at that.
The Civil Rights Act of 1960, which outlawed poll taxes and other racist measures meant to keep blacks from voting, was filibustered by 18 Democrats for 125 hours.
Wow.
Not one Republican senator opposed the bill. Its follow-up bill, The Civil Rights Act of 1964 is one of the landmark pieces of legislation in American history. That, too, survived a filibuster by Democrats thanks to overwhelming Republican support. But you might be thinking, all that's in the past. What have Republicans done for women and blacks lately? The answer you'd hear from professors, journalists, and celebrities is not much. And this time they'd be right. They'd be right because the Republican Party treats blacks and women as it treats everyone, as equals. The Democratic Party never has, and it still doesn't. Today's Democrats treat blacks and women as victims who aren't capable of succeeding on their own.
Exactly.
The truth is, this is just a new kind of contempt.
Let's see.
So there is a party with a long history of racism and sexism, but it ain't the Republicans. I'm Carol Swain for Prager University.
I need to say is awakened. And they sleep.
Yeah,
Wow.
awakened. Look at all that information. It just chucked into that. Just what she's saying is enough. Even if I was on the fence and I'm not where I am now, that would have been enough to be like,
Let me go read. Let me go and find out more about this. Let me go and do the research.
you know about this?
Right. Let me go and read about it. All of those people were Republicans way back. Way back. That's why Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. Because of what he was doing and trying to do.
Yep.
Republican.
They didn't like that. And the Democrats killed him.
So I don't understand, why don't more people know about this? Why is it that so many people are blinded to this information?
Yeah.
Or they want to make it out to be something other than what it is? Because we know members of the left, or many people who believe that way, have a distorted visualization of the truth.
Correct.
So they want to take the truth and twist it and make it an untruth.
Make it a lie.
So we know that for sure. So is that what's going on? Because if we have access and privy to this information, that's free. Why don't more people of color are finding out and going to research themselves? Well, let me just check this out. Or they want to have something to gripe and holler about and stand outside and fight for when you ought to be fighting for something else, because that ain't it.
I think you just answered it.
You want to continue to perpetuate the poverty mindset. You want to continue to perpetuate people being on government assistance for extended time periods. Now, I am for helping people that fall upon hard times and that need help. I believe we need to do that. But for your whole life?
Your whole life. And they cut
and for
that
the
off.
next generation?
They cut that off.
And the
They
next
cut that off.
generation?
They cut that off.
I know.
And they cut that off because black people would live, had been through generation, but they had to stop that because people wouldn't get off of it. They would live at the bottom of the bottom for free forever.
Well, no. In one of Jesse Lee Peterson's videos that we just watched, it was where he was interviewing a teenage girl who had been on some form of government assistance her whole life. And she had a phone and she didn't even know why she was on it. She said her mama put her on it and she didn't even know why.
How old was this?
I don't remember what year it was. Maybe it was, years ago.
Okay.
But I know it wasn't 10 years old. I don't think it was that old. But I'm just saying, so it's like, no, absolutely not. It's too many resources. I'm sorry. It's too many resources.
Too many resources.
It absolutely is too many resources. I don't care what the situation is.
But that's
there
the
is
problem.
no excuse.
But that's the problem.
There is no excuse.
But I think that's where the issue comes.
Hold
on, let me get in. I think that's where the issue comes because there's so many resources. There's so many resources. They're not looking at the ones that are going to benefit their lives. You're looking over here because you got so much entertainment. And let me tell you, that's the one thing about black people. Black people are going to go to where the entertainment is, not the education.
And the excuses that we give ourselves is single parent home. Well, that's debunked because you have several successful people that grew up in single parent homes.
Yeah.
So that can't be it. Whether it's a single parent dad or a single parent mom, that's no excuse.
No.
One of the parents are in jail or on drugs. That's some of the stuff that has been continuous in our community. And that's an excuse. as to why you can't do better. That's what it is. It's an excuse, because if you got your own mind and you have your own will, then you can change your situation.
It's laziness, man.
Period. So I mean, come on. I don't understand why more people aren't getting hip to this information and doing your homework.
Because we don't have something strong enough to stand up and fight for that makes you want to go ahead and look at this education. There's nothing that's driving you to say, we need to look and read this, because there's so many deviating things out there, so much other information, so much other movies and fun stuff and
but I
social
just heard
media.
In my spirit that many people and organizations drive off of a fight. Now, whether it's the right fight is something else. But if you don't have something to fight for, then what are you doing? Maybe that's not how you're gonna make your income or make you feel like you're fulfilling a purpose.
Help me understand what you mean.
Just like some of these people and organizations that are out here fighting for a cause that really is no cause to fight for.
Okay.
Or we don't agree with.
Okay.
But it's still giving them something to do. They still may be earning money. They still may be feeling like their purpose is being fulfilled.
Yeah.
So they fight for this particular cause.
Are you talking about like Black Lives Matter?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Well, we know that's about to be, well, that's null and void anymore, but still.
So it would have to be some kind of catastrophe that reflects Democrats in a horrible light and it reflects Republicans in a beautiful light for people to be like, we need to fight for this. You talking about like that? Like it has to be a reason, a situation on the Republican side that makes everybody say.
No, I'm just saying that
fight
for
that.
some people, they're just they feel like they have to go and fight for something because that gives them purpose.
Yeah.
Whether their fight is valid, backed up by facts, or not. If a person feels like this is my whole purpose in life and I'm doing this and this is going to help, without even like the Black Lives Matter situation.
Yeah.
That stuff, a bunch of nothing, a bunch of nothingness. But at first, people didn't believe that. We didn't believe that.
We didn't. We were swayed with the rhetoric.
But then the light started being shed, and we're like, hold up, okay. And then when somebody else started planting them little seeds, I was like, wait a minute now. When you got more than one person that's saying something about a thing, that's going to make me think. I don't care if 98% of these people are doing this thing. If you got two people that's thinking the opposite, let's dive into what they're saying because they're saying it for a reason. Let's go in and see what else is going on.
Yeah.
But the majority doesn't do that.
Because we sleep.
But that's all I'm saying.
Sleep. When you sleep, you don't pay attention. You're not conscious. We in RAM. Black people.
And it's comfortable.
It's a big majority of black people are in RAM sleep. And your eyes are moving. You're like this, but you can't see nothing.
I just think it's comfort too. To have a cause to fight for. It's giving you a purpose, but it's that comfort zone. But it may not be necessarily for the right cause. But anyway, that's a whole soapbox. I just wanted to say, get out there and dig for yourself, people. This information is out there, and you don't have to agree with us. You don't have to agree with us. I'm not writing the information. I'm doing my homework and researching it as well.
That's right.
But I just might write something.
That will be on.
But it's going to be backed up by facts.
That would be great. That would be dope.
The good thing about it is people have already done the work for you. Pretty much for the history, the information is there. And there's so many resources out here. You can go and fact check off other facts.
Like, comment, subscribe, and don't take a nosedive. But comment down in the section below if you want some more. We'll see you on the next one, man. Don't go nowhere.
Love you guys.
Get ready for the next video coming.